Alright guys, so Dragon Ball Legends 2.0 is officially here and we have a lot to talk about in today's video. I want to give you guys my personal thoughts on this big update, the pros and the cons. Now, there's a lot more pros than cons, but there's a really bad con I do not like. But guys, comment down below, what do you guys think about this big update? I love to hear your thoughts. Give me some pros and cons like I'm about to do with you guys. So let's not waste any time. Let's get into it. I want to talk about the first pro, a change I really like. Really like. So if you guys are in your home menu like me right here, if you guys swipe up, you guys can officially change your background up to 10 different selected characters. So for example, right now I'm on UI Goku, and if we just hold this really quick, you guys can see if we swipe left or right, we can change our characters. So here's Orange Piccolo. I'm just using this as an example, and I am using the light background just as another example because you guys can change this to a darker background. So this is one example here. So if we just kind of like do the same thing, swipe up and then left and right, you guys can see we can switch to 10 different selected pre-selected characters. So here's Giblet, just because you know how much I glaze games original. So if we do this again, one I really like is actually the Gohan, not this Gohan right here. I really love this Gohan, but for the sake of it, I'm just gonna keep it in the UI Goku, just because you know we're kind of like in a universe rep kind of campaign, or at least leading up to one. So this is the first pro that I like. A second, okay, not a second. The first con that I really do not like, really don't like, is this. Have you guys checked out the forfeit screen? It just ruined the whole experience of like the capture moment of when, you know, you're doing a, let's just say a super, an ultimate, an LF, and then it just kind of forfeits mid-match. We were able to collect some really cool, you know, forfeit screens. Now it's just a big block in the way. So I hope they kind of revert this, and I have a feeling they will, because, you know, sometimes they do take stuff into consideration, and this is like one of the worst changes. It doesn't seem like a bad change, but it kind of seems like a, you know, like something lifeless. Like before, it gave Dragon Ball Legends a little bit more life. So this is one con I really don't like. Now, if we go back into the game really quick, I forgot to mention to you guys exactly how to switch it to 10 characters. It's very simple. And by the way, if we go to our missions, for example, you guys see a pre-selected screen right there. If we just do this one more time, that's your 10 selected characters, right? So we're up to 10 selected characters. So the way you do that and go to dark mode is very simple. So let me just pull this up really quick. Dark mode is extremely simple, okay? All you have to do is click on other, okay? And I'm going to be doing this, you know, in game for you guys. I just want to show you really quick. And then you guys go to status, and then you guys can see, you know, either background. And let me just go back in game really quick for you guys. So you can see, you know, the top 10 favorite characters here. So you can choose up to 10 characters. And then here for the background, you can switch to dark or light theme. And I just want to show you guys really quick the difference between dark and light theme. It's actually pretty, you know, at first I wasn't really a big fan of light. I'm like, I'm going to go all in on dark, but I'm kind of growing on it a little bit just because it's like new. This is a before and after. Yes, dark mode is a little bit easier on the eyes, but still, like, I'm kind of liking both of them. So I don't know. I'll switch on and off between both of them and see what fits me best. But of course, dark mode is a lot easier on the eyes, especially when, you know, you guys are on certain screens like the whatchamacallit, like the mission screen, right? For example. So if we just go to the mission screen real quick, do this one more time. It's super bright. It is very bright, as a matter of fact. A little bit too bright for my liking, but it's okay. Like I said, it's something new, and I kind of like new stuff, even if it's, you know, not that bad. It's just refreshing, right? So, okay. So one pro was the 10 background characters that we can switch. A con was the forfeit. Now let me give you guys another pro, and it's something you guys have been listening to, which is the background music. Okay, that's the background music. So the background music is a little bit cooler. I think it's, you know, it gives a little bit more life to the game, but it's something that doesn't seem that big. Like, it's a small change, but it's music we listen to every day, right? When we log in. And speaking of logging in, another big pro is obviously the start screen, right? The home screen, which shows, you know, like 6 characters versus each other, kind of like Marvel versus Capcom. Really cool. The start screen is very cool. You guys have already seen it by now. I'm not really going to show you guys, reset my game and show you guys, because you guys seen it by now. But That's another one. Another big one, since we're already in missions, another pro here is the fact that you can accept all of your missions all at once. I have nothing to accept here, but there's an accept all button right here, and you guys can get all your missions at once. That's a pro for sure. So we've been giving a lot of pros here. I want to really quick. Oh, let me give one more pro before we get to some cons. The game is just smoother, dude. Way smoother. As you guys can see, there's a little bar down here that stays at all times. Events, home, so you guys can easily navigate through the menu, which is really cool. And it's just smoother, way smoother. If you go to characters, everything, character list, everything is just a lot smoother, right? And now this is where I kind of miss dark mode. When character selection screen is a little bit weird. And actually, since we're in character selection screen, I'm going to use this as an example as well. Going to the party formation, you can see now how many times a specific character is getting either Z ability or Zenkai ability boosted. As you guys can see next to the equipments right there, it says, for example, like this Goku here, 6, this Vegeta 7, of course Majin Buu 6, and you guys get the point, right? So it gives a little bit more clarity. And another thing they changed here, guys, is the fact that your bench characters now, for example, let's just take this Super Saiyan Goku. I'm just going to use this as a quick example, okay? So Super Saiyan Goku holds 2 strike cards. This is going to play a factor now inside the game of how many cards you hold, right? Before it was just the battle members. Now it's the whole party. If we just take a look at Majin Buu, we come here. There's a blast and a strike card. And as you guys can see here, his blast restores ki. So this actually plays a huge factor in terms of like the team build and how you build your teams, which is really cool too. I thought a little bit more diversity in the team builds definitely is a sprinkle on top. So that's another pro for sure. So a big con that I actually don't like, or it's something I would just have to get used to. If we go to the news section, this one's huge, by the way, guys, and I'm going to make a very separate video on this. So, man, where is it? It's right here. Legends Reborn. Oh, maybe a quick little hint. What do you mean reborn? Is it like the movie? Oh, and we could get 200 crystals for free. That's pretty cool too. But it's the battle adjustments. So now combos will... You'll get penalized for extending your combos, such as side steps, charge steps, which I do not like. So let's just really quickly read this, okay? Like I said, I want to make a very separate video on this. So it says here, in order to keep excessive combos in check, we have increased the penalties applied to card draw speed and key recovery during a combo. So less card draw speed and key recovery as you're, sidestepping and everything like that. And it goes on to say, when the penalty reaches its maximum, in addition to card draw speed and natural key recovery stopping, sub counts for characters on standby will stop too. That's massive, dude. That's huge. That's not good. This does not affect card draw, key recovery, or sub count reduction caused by abilities. And then, of course, down here is the expanding held arts cards, which I mentioned about the bench. Also, tap actions. So increase the power of tap shots and tackles, which I actually do like this change a lot. So I like that one a lot. It says here, adjustments to swiping while charging key. Previously, when performing an evasive maneuver while charging key, you had to release your finger and then quickly swipe. When made the operation complicated, to make this easier, pretty much now you can swipe without lifting your finger on the screen to evade while charging your key. So this is much more of a smoother experience. I love this change a lot. I'll have to reread this combo penalty thing and kind of test it out myself. That's why I want to make a very separate video on this. But yeah, let's see here. There's a lot of things, dude. A few bugs, of course, with such a big update, that's going to get fixed. It's not a big deal. No new battle expansion details just yet, because we were promised the battle expansion in the big update. When that's going to come out, when the news of that's going to come out, I'm not quite sure. Maybe sometime within the anniversary, right after the anniversary. We'll have to wait and see what battle expansion actually means, because I think that's the most important thing. Right now, they're kind of fixing the backbone and the smoothness of the game, which everything I just went through in terms of like making the game fresh, taking out souls, making brand new souls. So if we just go to our items really quick, you guys can go to your recycle shop and you guys can exchange all these old souls, super souls, which don't have any more use cases, and you guys can exchange it for these new ones right here, which everything is much more simplified. So I love this change. It's great for newer players. It gives them less analysis paralysis when entering the game. So I absolutely love this. But in terms of souls, something I would love for them to do in the near future is probably make it easier to awaken equipments. I know there's people commenting on my videos sometimes, on my posts on Instagram or on Twitter or X, saying, you know, DBZoom, I wish they made awaken equipments easier because it's just a little bit too confusing, a little bit too draining, which I would agree with them on that one. They just got to simplify it where there's no extra, like, you know, medals for the, you know, not medals. Where is it? It's the... Oh, I think they did simplify it, but they just got to make it a little bit easier. But I think they did simplify it with the new souls, right? Which is something great. So we have all of that. Is there anything else I missed here? Dark mode. No, that pretty much covers everything in this big update, guys. If you have anything I probably missed or something like that, comment down below. I love to read your comments. Like right now I'm clicking home. It took a little bit too long, right? So if you swipe up, you can switch your characters, which is pretty cool too. So for the sake of this, let's leave it on the part 3 of last big celebration, right? Which was, you know, Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta. So we'll leave it like that. Love everything so far. I'm getting used to it. It just takes a little bit of time to get used to it, but guys, rate this big update on a scale of 1 through 10. I love to read your comments. And with that being said, thank you guys so much for watching. And I'll definitely catch you guys on the next one. Have a good one. Peace.